Alright, this is Skyforge. Excuse me. Okay, so it's like 9:37 Oh boy, here in Virginia, USA. Alright, so back to Skyforge again. Okay, now, load in, dang. Alright, so, a while ago I made a video talking about pretty much how much I think I'm gonna hit this game. And how much it annoys me and how the different classes are annoying and all this other stuff and blah blah blah. Alright. Now in many ways this game does still freaking annoy me. It really does. But like I kinda had to like take a deep breath and take a step back and really take a moment to try to look at it. You know. One of the things I realized I have to do is I'm freaking old. I'm old school if anything. And a lot of the stuff that I like might not be stuff that's considered more popular nowadays. So my views about stuff are really like set in stone, well, almost. Because I always try to make sure that I'm flexible when it comes to my view on stuff. That's why I'm willing to put in a little bit more time and stuff like even stuff that I don't like. Now another reason why I'm one, to go back to the game because of that. Two, because I spent freaking money on this. And I got how many freaking days do I have left on this thing? Alright, last time it 94 days of premium on this thing. So I got like more than 3 months of premium left on this darn thing. Alright. And they give you 3 days, like every month they'll give you like 3 more days. Something like that. So I got like more than 3 months and like a week and change or something like that, pretty much as far as looking forward to the future. You know. Kind of funny, I feel like, cause I was thinking back to how freaking whether or not this game was like pay to win. And in many ways it is. It really is. Like, for example, alright, now in the previous video I actually played with my Berserker some. I doubt anybody, I don't know if you watched the video or whatever, at least for that long, you see the Berserker and the weapon I did there. This is that same weapon, okay? Now, how long? That was a while ago because, what is it? I have the month now. I have the month available now in all my character classes. Alright. Now, I stopped playing the game for a while. Like, I was working when I had this game. I actually lost my job like a month and a half ago. I've been trying to find more work. Probably the reason why I haven't been streaming anything or doing any videos or anything like that. Like, most of the levels that I have for my character now, as you can see in the equipment thing, I'm up to prestige level 99. I don't even know what level I was in this other video. Yeah, I was freaking prestige level 70. Most of the levels I got like in the past few days. Because honestly, it's not too tough to really level up if you know what you're supposed to be doing. But anyway, the main thing I was pointing at right now is this weapon here, the Iron Heart here. This Gladiator Strike restores 10% of health. Gladiator is like my ultimate ability for this character, for this class anyway. And increases the damage of Gladiator Strike by 40% after Gladiator Strike. Gladiator ability ends. Each thing's next 3 attacks reduces the ability's cooldown by 27 seconds. So, my little companion here, my third dude right here, if you do certain combos, like 1, 2, 3 hit there will cause him to do an attack. Okay. And once he does that attack, it'll put my ultimate ability on. It'll take 27 seconds off my ultimate ability. All right. Now to get this weapon, I paid for it. I ain't gonna lie, it's money. All right. Now it wasn't just the weapon itself. It was like a bundle with some other stuff in it. But like I was mainly doing it for the freaking outfit. But anyway, you get the weapons and you get this and you get a weapon for the outlaw, which I still haven't read how much it's supposed to do. Let me see. Yeah, you get these weapons for the outlaw. What is it? The tracer effect is no longer consumed, but the sure shot is used and the damage of dodge stack, and rapid shower by 10% for each level of the effect. Yeah, I don't know what any of that is, because I don't play this freaking. I don't play freaking outlaw. Like seriously, like this is what most people play outlaw. Hold down the button, spin around. And if you're doing this, you kill an enemy with it, you get like a big something. Hold on, it'll actually tell you too. Let me see. The R1 ability. Okay, 549 damage to nearby enemies. I'm in an area where I'm like, they changed the prestige level to like 30 something. But anyway, 549 damage to nearby enemies. The closer the enemy is to the outlaw, the more damage they take. I didn't even know that. What the freak? Oh my goodness. So if they're closer to you, they take more damage. What the freaking fuck? Maximum bonus is 50%, which is achieved at 5 yards. Using dash, oh, dang on it. Using dash does not interrupt leg carousel. Alright, instead it makes you shoot faster for a second. So I seen it. Hold on, let me show you. So you're doing this when you dash. But anyway. Alright, so using dash does not interrupt leg carousel. If 3 and more, or more, if 3 or more enemies are affected, the outlaw has a 30% chance to gain a firecracker effect for 15 seconds, which makes the next grenade free and increases its damage by 100%. Now, what does that mean? Normally when you throw a grenade, you throw one grenade. Bounces around until it hits something or it explodes after a certain amount of time. There you go. Alright, so when you do this, you toss grenades all over the freaking place. Okay? Now if you get that special, that special upgrade or whatever, your ability procs, if you would say. Then, it increases the damage that the grenades do by 100%. It doesn't say just like the first grenade, it says the next grenade. So that's probably all of them. Anyway, when using dancing grenade during leg carousel, the outlaw throws not 1 but 5. Oh, wait, okay, so they're talking about it now, okay. It throws not 1 but 5 grenades in random directions. Each grenade inflicts 8,200. Okay, like I said before. Alright. I'm in an area right now where my prestige level has been dropped down to like 30 or 20 or something like that. Alright, it's dropped your prestige level down. I'm not exactly prestige level 99 right now. Okay, if I go find enemies, it'll be like 29, and if I try to attack them, it'll take a little bit to kill them. Alright. With that in mind, at level 30 something, the normal damage of the gun of this ability does 549 damage to nearby enemies. Okay. But the grenade, look how much of an increase that is. That's more than like a 10, that's more than a freaking 10% increase. That's more than 100, the freak, oh my goodness, it's so much freaking damage. So much freaking damage. Okay, how much is that? So 100% increase would be another 549. Okay, so that's so much freaking damage. each grenade. Alright, well, it says if several grenades hit the same target, all grenades but the first one inflict 80% less damage. That's still a lot of freaking damage. That is still a lot of freaking damage. And they're grenades, so when they explode, they hit more than one target. Alright, I don't know what that little thing that popped up over there said. It was so freaking small, I couldn't even read it. But yeah, man, Outlaw in so many ways is freaking overpowered. It really is. It really is. Like if you know, I'm not gonna dwell on that. I don't want to dwell on that because it's just gonna make me freaking talk about more stuff that I don't like about this game. The thing I was trying to focus on was the fact that I had the eternal weapons. All right. So yeah, the weapons came with stuff to give you like extra abilities and everything like that. Now, they have these, the main reason why I was talking about that is that they have these things called distortions, okay? Right here, distortions, alright? Distortions are major bosses that you can fight in the 10-man group, alright? These bosses usually they require you to know exactly what the freak you're doing with your character. These, I've only fought one distortion enemy. I've only done one distortion, alright? And I pretty much got carried through it. Which is that's one of the things that I hate so much about this game, is people get carried through so much stuff. They like to get carried through everything. But anyway. Alright. Now, distortion bosses are like extremely. Let's go to the distortion boss. Let's see this guy. Let's go there right now. Alright. Now, it's not going to put me on like sometimes when people go like in World of Warcraft, if you go do a dungeon or something like that, if you put yourself in queue for like certain dungeons and stuff in World of Warcraft, it'll be like, oh, you've been saved to this dungeon, so you can't do blah blah blah. They don't do that with distortions in this, which I'm glad about, very glad about. So I can just come in here and show a freaking monster just to show it off, you know, and then I can leave out and come back later with the group if I ever get one or anything. But yeah, over there is that boss dude right there. He's just the one dude there, alright? You don't have to fight through a dungeon or whatever to get to him. All you do is just teleport over to him and you fight him. Alright? So I'm just gonna go in there. As a matter of fact, let me get a tank class. If I go in there with anything else, I'm gonna get like one shot. Alright. So I'm just gonna pop over there real quick. Now, this guy is prestige level 103. He has 40 health bars. He has, what is it? 610 gazillion health. Is that what that G is supposed to stand for? Gazillion freaking health. Okay. So yeah, this is a boss. I'm not gonna do like any damage to him. I'm barely gonna do like 1% damage to him if I attack him right now, which I'm gonna do. Let's get it. So yeah, this is a restoration boss. I fought this guy before. Ow. Hey, you didn't even do anything. We're about to get rid of that. But yeah, I fought this guy before. He's still shooting that darn laser. What the freak? How long did it take him to shoot that? He's back. Alright. So my save my life ability for my tank hit me. I gave me like a 10 minute. So if I take damage, that's gonna kill me. Oh! Don't worry. I was not supposed to do that. Anyway, well, that's pretty much that boss right there. Alright. Now, also, check this out, okay? Check this out. Alright. I'm prestige level 99 going against a 103 boss. This guy's 4 levels, 4 prestige levels above me. All right. Now check it out. No one will have me in their group for this stuff. Nobody. People are going to be like, oh no, you're not high enough. You need to gain like 2 more levels or something like that. Blah, blah, blah. Alright? They will not have me in a group. Whether I'm tanking or whatever. Not doing enough damage or whatever. I don't even know the reason why. Because like I got all these different classes and everything. Hey, if they need me to do more damage, I could just play a freaking outlaw. Oh. Freaking spin to win and crap. Anyway. So that was a distortion boss. Basically you do those so you can get better gear. That's how you level up in this, basically. Pretty much what you do if you're trying to level up in this game. First off, you do a dungeon so you can get like your weapon or whatever up to a specific. Actually, that doesn't even increase your prestige level. It just gives you a better weapon for whatever's going on currently. It doesn't increase your prestige at all. Your jewelry and the gems of power increase your prestige. Okay. And now they made it even easier for you to make these to level these up. Because before, if you wanted to increase these, you just have to keep doing different dungeons. You couldn't even do normal quests and get these. You had to do dungeons to get these. So now what they've done, they've made it so that you can actually do item upgrades in order to make these better. That way you don't have to keep sitting through dungeon after dungeon after dungeon, which you still have to do that, to be honest. But like, you will have to do it, I say, a little bit less. Because pretty much what you need is, so down here, these cube things right here, basically what you do is you get your different jewelry items, whichever one is the weakest or ones that you don't need, you just sell those, and it'll give you these blue cube things, okay? You get up to 3,000 ones in early side here. I don't know if there's any difference for anybody else with higher level or if you can upgrade it. I don't think you can, but whatever. You get these little cube things here. You go over to item upgrade by hitting R2 in your bag. And then you choose which item you want to upgrade. Now, as you can see in the bottom right there, I need 75 of those cube things in order to upgrade a level. And I also need 30,000 credits in order to upgrade it. Alright. Now, if it's integrity, the integrity level is what you're trying to increase. Alright. You're at 150, you're at 1%. Your critical damage, main damage, whatever, those stats right there under the integrity, those will be lower. Alright. When you first start like increasing the integrity level of an item, if it's like really low, like for example, there's one that's gonna take. That's 0%, right? Okay. Now, as you can see, now as you can see, the integrity level for this one is 0%. Damage, blah blah blah, all the stuff, whatever. Alright. Now, as you can see over there, the little cute things, I only need 15 of them, and it only takes 60,000. That's because it's at 0%. Alright, I hit the button to include it. It gives it 5. Okay. Now, the more you upgrade stuff, the less percentage will be added. Once I get 20 items, I say like 20. Once I get to 20, it'll start going from 5 every time, or sometimes it's a little bit more. But going from 5 every time down to like 2 or 3. Alright, then once I get to like 60 or I guess like 60 or 70, then it'll be like 1% every time. Something like that. No, it's like 80. Yeah, like 80. It'll be like 1% every time. And then it'll be 30,000 every time. It's 75 of those things, something like that. It doesn't go past 30,000. I might get the tap up on that. What's the tap? Oh, I got to tap that like that. Yeah, this area has random stands. And if you just put these stand in one spot, these lights will pop up. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of bad, but it won't kill me, but whatever. So that's basically how you increase your level or whatnot, make your character stronger. As you level up your different items and whatnot, using credits and everything, that's how you increase your level. The skills, artifacts, these just give you extra little bonuses and benefits and stuff like that. Now, one of the things that I've noticed about the different items here, as you can see down there, under the key stats, there's a shadow at the very top, and then there's the other key stat. There's a star beside general defense. I think that's supposed to be like, if there's a star beside the specific stat, then that's supposed to be good for your character. Which means that you can actually set up different stuff so that different character types that you use more often can have like 4 stars and all those stats, key stats, and stuff. And make your character far more powerful. Even show them over here on the right in the stat bill on the video. So I have like, wow, thank you, like remote. And it won't go down. It won't click. Because this, because of that, because of that. Alright, so I got 5 stars, 5 item stars. And then you want to far left, I need to come on the far left. Maybe 6. Anyway. Yeah, man. This is pretty much it. But, yeah, that's pretty much how that goes. This game is actually not as bad as I thought it was. One of the things I still hate the most about it though is the fact that I need to talk to. Well, I guess not. He got a target over his head, but I can't talk to him. Whatever. I still hate how solo heavy this game is right now, but I kind of realized that it's not simply because, you know, they don't care or whatever like that. You know, see, look, his level is 36. If I check his stats right now, if I check his information, he's probably like 1100. Yeah, look at that. See, he's like level 112. But because of the area we're in, it puts him down to level 36. Anyway, but like, one of the things I've realized is that part of the reason why the game is the way it is because this is a port from the PC over to the console. Alright. And they're trying to rush everybody to where the game currently is on PC. Alright. So a lot of the stuff that they have in the game, I'm sure when the game first came out on PC, I'm sure this daggone thing was just tough to play by yourself. I am always that. I'm sure it was. Because they actually had a dungeon where they increased the difficulty of a boss, and that boss was so freaking hard that no one could beat it. It was like insanely difficult. It was beatable if you knew what you were doing with your classes. You actually had a team that was just ready to actually, you know, learn their classes and what they needed to do. But it was not an easy fight. Just like that boss. It was not an easy fight to beat the you know. And I loved it. It was great. You know. And like, I enjoyed it so much, I refused to stop playing the dungeon. I got in the group, and like, I was like, no, I don't care if I have to try to figure this out myself. I'm not leaving this dungeon until we beat this boss, or I have no more time to play this dungeon. That's just that. I just refused to give up. But eventually I had to, because, you know, real life doesn't allow you to sit on video games for hours and hours at a time, wasting away. Unless you really want to die that way. So, anyway. Lightning bolt. Alright. Hold over there. What is the boss right there? Like way up here, like off the face of that. What is that? What is that? Okay, I'll see what I can do. I'll just set my lightning bolt while I'm doing it. Yeah, I can't really change the mic that the speakers are as well. I guess I can. That's one thing. Well, I try. Yeah, let's see if it's all right, can you hear me better? Definitely. Oh wow, it's going through that. A beautiful day. Okay. Where is it? All right. Now, just so you know, I'm using like some using Skull Candy headphones. I'm not even using like some actual like headphones that are supposed to go with PlayStation or whatever, because the normal headphones I have are like messed up. Um, Actually, I probably pretty much you can like you don't have to spend any money to get any of the content. The stuff like no, you don't have to pay for any DLC. There's no DLC. This is a free to play game. Um, okay, so you start off with Paladin. Right now, you start off with Paladin. You start off with the Lightbinder. You start off with the Cryomancer. The rest of these, you either pay for them with real money or you use what they call sparks in order to unlock the characters. Okay, that's one thing that you wouldn't pay for if you wanted to. Certain other items, like if you wanted to get like specialized gear and stuff like that, pretty much it's like pay to look good, if anything. Like this outfit that I have and that bird that I have, I paid money to get these. All right. Like there is some stuff in here that's pay to have that makes the game much more much easier to deal with. One of the things they have in this game is right now on my mount. This is a combat mount, so that means that I can ride my mount, and if I get into combat, I will stay on my mount. All right. Most other mounts in this game, if you're on your mount and you run past the enemy and the enemy decides he wants to attack you, your character will automatically just jump off. I unlocked some of them using the sparks. Like which one? Kinetic I paid for. I paid for Kinetic because I really wanted Kinetic. I used sparks to get the monk. I used sparks to get the slayer, the archer, the gunner, and the outlaw. Pretty much the ones that the ones I paid for. I paid for the alchemist. I paid for the knight because I wanted all this. I wanted support and the tech class. I paid for the kinetic, and the witch, and the berserker, and the revenant. The rest of them I use sparks to get. So I have all the classes right now. All of them are unlocked. Alright, I paid for some of them. I use sparks to get the rest. Sparks are the free way to get them. I mean, I know it's a stuffy. Like, in many ways, though, the classes don't matter. In many ways, they don't matter. Not until like right now, the way they have the game set up, they really don't matter unless you're doing like the really hard, like really difficult in-game hard stuff. Class you play like really doesn't matter. Oh my goodness. It takes a bit. It takes a bit. I'm not even gonna lie. Alright, so basically the way you're supposed to get sparks, there's two ways to get sparks, alright, when you first start out anyway. The first way is to complete missions. These little missions here, that people called this the yellow brick road when I first started playing this. Each one of these missions, every time you complete a mission for the first time, it'll give you sparks. It'll give you like, I think like 300 or 500 sparks or something like that. Does it even tell you anything? No, it doesn't even tell you. But it'll give you like a chunk of sparks, alright? And usually it takes like 20,000, 30,000 sparks or something like that in order to unlock one class, okay? You also get sparks from doing like I think like every time you do like a major dungeon. If you do a major dungeon for the first time, you'll get sparks for that. Um, and I believe after you complete like all of the missions on the Yellow Brick Road here, you can get sparks by helping other people complete these missions. Alright, so if you find somebody who's new to the game and you want to help them, or you want to get yourself more sparks, you can help them complete these missions. So that they will get sparks and you'll get the sparks as well. Alright. That's one way to do it. The other way to do it is to do PvP, I think. Whenever you do PvP, you get a certain amount of sparks. I don't know because I don't play PvP. I've heard PvP is horrible. I've seen people yelling for hours inside chat in order to get one PvP match. People don't seem to play PvP at all in this kind of thing. And if they do, usually they just fight randomly out here in the normal areas just for fun. Alright. But like I've seen people say, we're doing a spark farm and whatever like that. I haven't had to do that because I have pretty much everything. As far as characters go. I myself mostly play this just, like to see what they're gonna freaking do with it. I'm kind of sick of the game, to be honest. I'm not even gonna lie. But it's free for one, and two, I've already spent money. The Revenant is tanky, but is not a tank. Pretty much the only reason why it is tanky is because you can heal yourself with it. You can do like a chunk of damage too. So you can deal out a lot of damage. You can take damage because you can heal yourself. So in that respect, yeah, he is kind of tanky. As far as it's not really, I don't think it was really meant to be a tank though. But I don't know, to be honest. I really don't. Like some of these classes, they have them placed in certain areas. Freaking worms. They have them placed on that little bar. They have them placed in certain areas where supposedly they're like, if it's in this little section that is supposed to be an attack class, melee attack or whatever like that. The Revenant is set inside the melee attack class area. And then they only have like two classes that are specifically supposed to be tanks, and then two classes that are specifically supposed to be support classes. You can pretty much play the Revenant as a tank though, because you can heal yourself through a whole lot of crap. I don't know, man. Like myself specifically, I wouldn't call it a tank, but you can pretty much use it as one. You really can. I mean, for example, as a matter of fact, let me just show you. I'm over here talking about it. I just pull up the character. Alright, so let's see here. We need an enemy. Let's find something more. And I don't really play Revenant, so I'll probably be killed. I ain't even gonna lie. Am I in combat? Because I paid money. Like, one of those. If I spend money on something, I'm going to use it or I'm going to play it. Right now I have like 90 freaking days of like premium gameplay or whatever for this game. I'm not gonna be on it every day, but I'm gonna play it every so often. I spent money on it, and I'm gonna play it every day. So I'm trying to get hit by it. Okay, so I just took a chunk of damage. So now I'm trying to get hit by this thing again. Now you saw that? That ability there, if you, the way it works is if you get hit while you have that ability on, instead of taking damage, you actually get the health back. Alright? And to be honest, it's more powerful than it's supposed to be. the way it's supposed to be is whenever you get hit, the amount of damage you take, you automatically heal. So basically, you take 0 damage. It's supposed to be like temporarily invincible, but it seems like I actually get health back instead of it working the way it's supposed to. But the way I've read it before, they might have changed it. So why are people complaining about? People have been complaining that they like nerfed this thing and made it like much weaker or something. No. If I had to spend money on this thing, I would not be playing it. I would not be playing this type of thing. It was like, in many ways, honestly, in many ways, the reason why I play MMOs is to play with other people. All right, I like playing with other people. I like doing team combat. Okay, doing dungeons and stuff with other people. That's one of my biggest things for playing MMOs at all. It's MMO, massively multiplayer online. All right, and people don't do that in this game. I'm gonna go do a dungeon right now. I'm going to do a dungeon right now. It's supposed to be a multiplayer dungeon. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna just let you pick anyone you want. Anyone you want up here. Let's see here. Let's get a group dungeon. Pick anyone. Just choose one and type it in the chat. Pick anyone you want. These are supposed to be 5-man dungeons here. Okay? And I'll show you exactly what people do in this game. It's like basically once that yellow brick road thing that I showed you before, the way the game starts is you have the middle right, this one right here, the Tarlin Aquifer. Okay, let's go there. I'm not going to do group finder. I'm just going to go in there by myself. All right. So the way people do the game now, or the way the game has pretty much been since it like came in, you know, you do that yellow brick road thing. You do all those missions there. Once you get to the end of it, once you get to the end of it, all right. You do this solo mission where you're supposed to fight against this quote-unquote avatar of a god. Once you defeat him, you get your god form. Okay? Now, check this out. If I go in here by myself and try to do this, you know, just like me versus the monsters as I am right now, I'm not going to do a lot of damage. Oh, shut the freak up, please. That you guys talking about these things, you're taking a lot of damage, right? Alright, I'm getting wrecked pretty bad, you know. You'd expect, you know, hey, I should be able to, you know, like, do this as a team. I was playing this character right, I know it. So I'm not doing enough damage to kill these guys right now, right? I didn't even put up with it, right? Alright, so I'm going to use my companion and self-res. Alright, so usually what people do is they just go into God form. And you can just pretty much wreck an entire dungeon on your own now. So basically, once you get God form, you don't need to play with anybody. And this is a little event monster here. I'm just trying to kill it so I can do this little ice shard thing. And ice shard things just let me find more random like little like stuff that is really important. But yeah, once you get your God form, you can pretty much do any dungeon, like any of the normal dungeons, by yourself. Alright, you don't have to have anybody in the team with you. Alright, now you do become more powerful and stuff. Well, for me, it lasts 44 minutes. Usually it lasts 15. Starting out, it'll last like 15 minutes. Alright, which is more than enough time for you to do an entire dungeon, no matter which one it is. Oh, actually, no, there's one that'll probably take more than 15 minutes. But if you have enough faith, which is that, like, if I hit D-pad left, my little bar down there will change. That golden bar on the bottom left there, that's how much faith I have, okay? That number right there, beside that lightning bolt 200. That's how much faith it'll take for me to transform. It depends on the dungeon. Now you can actually make the cost lower if you get like certain you can upgrade your god form so that your cost will be lower, it'll do more damage, so on and so forth, blah blah blah, all that stuff. I think for me it's like 50 or something like that. It says 200 right there, but I think that's to use my different abilities. Since I'm already in god form, it's to use different abilities. It changes how much. I don't know. But I know like my cost for it has been like reduced like drastically. The cost for my god form is reduced drastically. Excuse me, kind of birthday. One of the other things you get while you're in god form, usually when you're in normal form, you can't change your class. You cannot change your class. But if you're in god form, you can change your class like at any time. Okay. So now I'm a kinetic. And if I'm like, oh wait, I didn't want to play a kinetic. I just want to spin to win. So now I just change the outlaw. You know, when you're in god form, you can change your class like on the fly, whether you're in combat or not. Alright. So that guy is still in combat with me, so let's change it again. Come on. Go too slow. So yeah, I'm in combat, and I can still change because I'm in god form. As you can see, some classes are more powerful. Alright, some of the ones that you won't see people playing is this one right here. This is the like assassin. What's it called? Yeah, Slayer. Excuse me. The Slayer class, you won't see many people playing the Slayer class. It is kind of flashy with the gameplay and everything like that. You can tell it get around and blah blah blah. Cool, all that stuff. But you won't see many people playing it because it doesn't really as the other classes. More specifically, the gunner classes. Yes, there is a matchmaking system, which people never use. People don't use it. People, like, when the game first started, there was no text chat system, alright? When the game first came out, all they had was, like, microphone chat. So, what you needed to do in order to get into a group... Let me see here. Exactly. So what you would do in order to get in a group, you would go to like Avion thing up here, go over to group, then you would choose which one you wanted to go to, hit the button, and like I showed you before, you know, it said you could like choose to go into a group or whatever like that, group finder. Alright? Nobody uses that. And you know what? I'm not even gonna say that. Very few people use it. It is rarely used. Okay? You hit that. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to leave this dungeon because I don't even feel like I don't even need to finish it. I got everything out of here that I need. Alright, and I don't even mind you wasting my god form because I can. It's got a reduction on it anyway. Alright. So, like, when the game first started, alright, there was no text to chat. Alright, they had no text chat when they first started the game. Alright, at first I thought it was a bad thing. I really did. I was like, hey man, we need to have some text chat here because people don't use the microphones to talk to each other. Alright? And that was true. Nobody used their microphone to talk to each other. Okay? And this is how it's supposed to go here. Yeah, that's what I'm about to do. Alright, so this is Hespelon Temple. If anything, this one is the one that I should get into a group like right away. Not right away, but it should be the quickest one for me to get a group in. Alright. Most of these you won't find a group for, like Icy Plateau, you will never find a group. Like you would basically never find a group for Icy Plateau. There was one that's like a desert. Targo Island, you probably won't find a group for that one. Fort Darlick, you might not find a group for that one. The rest of these you probably can. The Hespelon Temple should be the one you should be able to find a group for the easiest because Doing Hezbollah Temple will give you weaponry upgrades. Alright. Now, I don't know how long it's going to be before I get a dude, if I get one at all. Sometimes I've been in the thing so long that I automatically DC. I don't even know. Alright. Seriously. But like usually what people do now is they will go over to you see up there, Alienar Divine Observatory. They'll go into the Divine Observatory, which I'm gonna go to right now. They'll go to the Divine Observatory. They'll stand around and they'll type in the chat about which dungeons they want to go to. All right. Now, honestly, you know, if they're actually like trying to get people, like, you know, hey, you know, you're blah blah blah. I need you for this level. We need this type of character. We need this blah blah blah. We're doing some high level thing. I can understand if they type in chat for that. Okay, that makes sense because you're trying to get a specific type of character at a specific level in order to help you do your dungeon or whatever. But most people don't do that. They'll just be like, hey, I want to get 5 people to go do this dungeon, and that's it. You know, basically they're typing in chat to get a random group. All right, like invite for swamp. All right, that's what the person said. Invite for media, invite for this, invite for that. All right. If you want to do these specific dungeons, what you should do is just go into the freaking queue system. It will make it so much quicker. But because people don't use the queue system, they use the chat. And because people use chat, they don't use the queue system. It's a circle of death. It just doesn't make any sense to me. All right. And ever since they put the chat in here, it's gotten worse. Like before, people wouldn't really use it as much because if they were inside of a decent enough pantheon, which is like the guild system they have in this game, then you really wouldn't need to do that. But at the same time, there will be people who weren't in the pantheon that will just go around bothering people, trying to get them to help them get to a group. You know, they'll invite people randomly to their group, be like, hey, you know, sometimes they won't even talk. They just invite them randomly and then start a dungeon. You know, stuff like that. All right. All you need to do is just plug in your mic, talk to people, or use the queue system. It's just people are freaking stubborn and they don't want to use the stuff that's given to them. They want to get stuff that they're more used to having on the PC or whatever like that. You know. So yeah, this is pretty much what people do. This is like your little hub area here. People stand around and do nothing, chat with each other, and talk and curse at each other inside the chat system. That's pretty much what everybody does. All right. And like one of the things you will see a lot in this game is carrying. People carry people all the time. All right. And like I said before, the classes in this game kind of like, they pretty much don't matter. If you have your god form, your class really doesn't matter because you do so much damage, you can take so much damage that you can do like any dungeon, at least the normal dungeons, without anybody's help. Okay. And as long as, let's say you're just trying to, you know, level up your character or whatever like that. Let's say you just want to get better equipment, all right, better gear or whatever. Now, hey, good example, as a matter of fact, hey. All right, so you see these jewels right here, how they have the red arrow pointing down? That means I currently have something in my inventory that is better than these 3 things, okay? Your integrity or whatever, there's something in my inventory that's better than that right now. That would be this one right here. All right, the integrity is at 49%. So I hit that one. That little arrow disappears. That means I have the best gear on for my character at the moment. Okay? Do that real quick. All of these. Oops. All right. Now, the reason why you can have more than one different type of crystal or whatever on your character is like I was saying before, just with the star thing. Go down. Like, come on. Really? Really? I'm hitting down on the D-pad. Why is it going over to the left? I'm hitting down. Screw it. The stars that they have on the different jewels and stuff, those tell you which stats are good for your character. Or to go for the classes you're currently playing. Alright. I don't see how they really help, to be honest. As of right now, like, I don't even really pay attention to those because it really doesn't matter as long as if you have enough to get your god form, you can pretty much do anything. You can use your God form in like every area of the game. Once you get God form, the only thing you can't use your God form for, you can't use it for at least the first distortion. The first distortion mission, which I was over here. Mashhad, whatever. This thing right here, you can't use your God form in there. Oh, this is old. I haven't seen this one before. Okay, I guess I got. But I don't get. But it shows a little. Those little golden horns right there. Those are like if you use your God form in that dungeon or in that distortion, you get points for it. Whatever. But I know you can't use it in there, not on your own at least. You probably, like certain bosses, if you fight them, they'll drop these energy orbs, and if you get the energy orb, they'll turn into your God form. So that's probably what that's probably what highlighting is. It's like I haven't done the distortion in forever. I did one, that was like months ago or sometime last year. Like middle of the beginning of last year. And since then, I haven't really needed to do anything. I just been like playing around random. But yeah, man, once you get your God form, like, you can pretty much solo most of the stuff in the game. You know, your God form will start off much weaker than mine is right now, definitely, because I had to do some stuff to get mine where it is. But you'll still be pretty powerful and everything. You got a self-heal ability that comes with your God form. You got a break out of anything ability that comes with your God form. Your God form, depending on which type of character you're using at the time. Like if you're using a support class, it gives you like this increase to like the team damage or something like that, which nobody ever uses. The way the game is, I think the main reason why it is the way it is right now is because they're trying to rush it to be the way it is on PC. Okay, they're really trying to push it so that it'll get to where it's supposed to meet up with the area that it's on PC. People keep saying that in chat too. They're like, oh, wait until we get to the moon, wait till we get to this, wait till we get to that. All right, all of that stuff seems to be current in-game stuff for the PC. All right, so right now it's like, if you want to, if you're not going to spend money on it, then feel free to play it, man. Starting out, it'll be fun. I'm not even going to lie. Starting out, it'll be fun. The combat's fun. The voice acting is absolutely atrocious. Starting out, the voice acting is absolutely hard. You get used to it, though. I'm not even going to lie. The gameplay is definitely fun, though. The gameplay is definitely fun. And it's decent. It's fun enough to, like, level up the character and get different abilities and stuff like that. But eventually you'll get to a point where it's like knowing what your class is not important. Knowing like how to work in a team isn't important. Pretty much once you finish with the first map area, and you get your God form, after that it's just grinding through gear to get as high level as possible. And most of that stuff you can get done by having other people run it for you. Pretty much it. Like I said before, man, if I hadn't spent money on it, like I have like 90 plus days of premium left for this account. And like I'm gonna play it every so often and whatnot, you know, and everything like that, because like I wouldn't mind having different outfits. I have a lot of outfits and stuff. Like I have a lot of different styles and stuff. Exactly. Like I really like having teamwork in my junk too. Like it's really important to me to play as a team. See, look, there we go. How long did it take? How long did it take for us to get a group? We finally got a group. All right. Now you can see. Hopefully, let's see if they'll actually do the dungeon the normal way. I doubt it, but let's see. Somebody's probably gonna go God form as soon as we get in here, and then they're just gonna rush in and kill everything. We're probably not gonna have a tank. We're probably not gonna have a support.
I wish
That's usually
everyone
how
a
it goes.
merry Winterfest.
Oh, another one of my ingenious creations.
And I'm streaming right now for all of y'all other people out there. Whoop. Called it. Oh, we got 2 of them. We got 2 of them, ladies and gentlemen. I forgot I was in the queue too. That's how long it takes to queue in here because people usually just put their stuff in chat. And Alienard is up to find this really correct. Now, one of the things that's cool about the dungeon before, they're actually much easier than it used to be. When they first started, it was pretty much the same way it is now. Then they had this update, and they made like a lot of new these guys at the side. Whenever they were around, there was like this weird buff that they had. I can't do that. These gold show up on them, and they fight over your character. And if you got hit by it, it would fear you, and it also do explosive damage. So if you were there, and if somebody was near you when they got hit by the sword, they would take also, the dungeons got the same as these guys fight you, but of course he would have the skull thing. And then on top of that, he had this ground AoE thing that he was a melee character. He got to a character. He was bringing in you have to worry about the skull. And then he also got these psychic guys that guys would do it like on the site. You would shoot those things out. And they did it a whole ton of freaking damage. And you'll see him in a minute. I don't know if the God form people will kill him instantly though. I don't know. Oh, I have Warframe in Neverwinter. Well, Neverwinter, I stopped playing that for a while because it just didn't feel like my nephew played it as well, but you know, at the time I just wasn't really like it. But anyway. All of these characters have like a functional attack or whatever. This is now the cooldown on that, look at that, it's less than a minute. Less than a minute. For the cooldown for your ultimate ability for this character. Like when I first got it, like when you first get a character, if you pay for it, then, that's the way. You'll automatically, they won't give you a weapon. You'll have to know, but you'll automatically start off. You don't start off with a weapon. I don't know if that's part of the reason why I picked it up on the console. Like when I first saw the game, I was like, oh man, this is cool. I really want to play it. Blah blah blah. But yeah, that little teleport thing was awesome. That ability used to be like so super damaging that it would kill everybody in the group either with one or two uses. You know. Right? Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. As soon as you kill the boss, it kicks you out of your group. As soon as you kill that, it's been like that since the very beginning. As soon as if you go into a random queue with a group of people, as soon as you finish the boss, it kicks you out of the group. As soon as you finish the boss. Alright, so if you're in a group of people that you actually like, they actually do the dungeon the right way, you know, and you're like, oh man, you guys did a great job, blah, 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 or if you had a major boss fight that you were having trouble with and everything, and you finally get it, as soon as the boss dies, you don't even get to hit the celebration, everybody, he just kicks you out of the group. Now you can just, you know, do your own group, set up your own group and everything with those people and everything later on if you want to. Yeah. But I still feel it's like it really makes me feel. It made me feel like, you know, the devs were like, yeah, people don't care about really working together right now. We're just trying to, you know, get them leveled up so they can get to the end game content. Blah blah blah. You know, in many ways, it made me feel like the devs didn't care whether or not, you know, people use like teamwork. And a lot of the stuff in the game really makes you feel like that. You know, it's like, it makes you feel like a lot of the aspects of the game are for yourself. Alright? Especially with the way they let you spam God. Especially with the way they let you spam God. I can do normal missions in God. I can do any, like, the only ones you can't, like I was saying before, the only ones you can't use God form on is like the 5-man avatar, which is like the current indie game boss for whatever event is currently going on. There are two different versions of that fight you can do. You can do a 5-man or you can do a 10-man. And the 10-man, you can turn into your God form, alright? And the 5-man, you cannot. Alright, the 5-man dungeons for avatar dungeons, in my opinion, are some of the best times I've played, best time I've had playing the game. Even though people have found ways to glitch and skip most of the dungeons, all of the dungeons that have shown up so far. All of the avatar and the game dungeons, they found some way to skip around a chunk of the dungeon. It pisses me off because I actually want to do the dungeon. And at the same time, I can understand why they want to skip it, because you don't get experience points for fighting enemies. You don't. You get no experience points for fighting enemies. So there's no reason to redo or to grind fighting enemies other than to complete missions to get money, so you can use that money to upgrade your gear. Alright? Those are the only reasons to do certain missions. And because, you know, that's the best way to the best way to level up. But that's one of the ways to level up in the game. People pretty much just only do dungeons now. They do dungeons where they get gear to drop. They sell the gear. They use the money in the little, like, cube things that come from the gear to level up the gear they want. And then they just do harder dungeons once they get leveled up higher. That's pretty much like the whole rotation of events in the game. And if you have your God form, you don't even need to wait for anybody. If you have enough faith to use your God form, you don't even need to do things. You can just solo everything. You can get faith by having your little, like, adepts right here. These people, you send them out to go to gather faith for you. You get to like a little farming. No. There is no trading. Honestly, I never even thought about that. honestly, I never really thought about that. You know, I mean, like, because there's no need to trade anything. There really isn't. Like, it's not like, you know, like, if you find, like, a great weapon in the game, it's like, oh, man, this weapon is so much better than what I have right now. I really need it. Or, you know, oh, man, this boss drops this item that I really want. I have never not once seen anybody say stuff like that in chat. I don't hear people talk about it in voice chat. No, there is no trading. There is no trading. They don't do this right here. The market, this is for crap that you don't need. This is pretty much stuff. Like, if you want credits, you can spend argents to get credits. Argents are the crystals that you pretty much spend real money to get. Okay, you can also get argents though. You can get those from, where was it at? I just saw it a moment ago. Is it operations? Is that what it is? Yeah. You get argents from operations. All right. The way you get the argents, you see top 3, top 2, blah blah blah, and everything like that. Those are argents. All right. So basically, the way you get those is you do different missions, you do different dungeons that have to do with whatever boss or whatever enemy invasion is going on. All right. And you, as long as your score is high enough, then you'll get points. You use those points, and like after a certain amount of time, after this little special operation thing, the timer up there, once that goes down to 0, if you're in the top tier of whatever score thing this is, the score bracket is, you get argents. So you can use those argents on whatever. All right, so you don't even need to spend real money to get argents if you don't want to. Just play the game. All right. And it's not about group effort. It's not about group effort. You know? Like, none of the stuff that's in here has been put here by players. It's part of the system games. This is event stuff, like holiday stuff right here. Alright? Don't really need those. It's just costumes. I'm telling you, see, that's the thing. Like I said, if I didn't spend money on it, I wouldn't be playing it. Oop, I ain't mean to hit that. I wouldn't be playing it right now. I'd be playing one of my other games. You know, like I feel like I need to play it because I've already spent the money. All right, and I also, honestly, I really want to see if whether or not if the major dungeon, the major fight stuff, I want to see if people actually use teamwork in those. Because when you actually get teamwork, when you actually do like the 5-man avatar stuff, where people actually need to know their classes in order to beat bosses, that stuff is freaking fun. Yeah, like all of that stuff you just said. Hard encounters, trading, and grinding. Like, grinding is still in the game, alright? But it's not like, you're still grinding your prestige level, so to speak. I'm doing a finger quotation here, you can't even see me. But like, you have to grind, like, you need to get like money, and you need to get the crystals or the jewels or whatever, and sell them for money, and sell them for the items, for the items you need to upgrade those crystals. That's pretty much the only thing you grind. Alright, you can still do missions and stuff, like if you're trying to increase your prestige level, you can do bastion missions. Which is, let me see here, where is it at? And the provinces, in every province they have here, every little area they have here, there's a bastion, which is one of these things, alright? As you can see, the might, your might is how much, it's basically, those are your experience points, your might, alright? How mighty you are, I guess, alright? But as you increase, like, as you complete the different, like, missions and stuff, they'll give you, like, a set of missions to do, or whatever, and bastions, then you can just, you do the missions, it'll give you some might, and then as you complete, once you get that new ability bar all the way up, it'll give you one of these little things, these extra little things that make it easier for you to do fighting and stuff like that, you know. All of these have some type of little upgrade that they give to your character or whatever like that. In every province, except for the Tacit Dunes at the very end, every province has a bastion. Alright, each bastion gives you a set of missions, like 3 or 4 missions. And as you do all 3 of those missions, it'll give you some points to fill up that bar. It doesn't fill the bar all the way up unless you just started it. And the more, the higher level your bastion gets, the more and more missions you have to do. Now let's say, for example, you know, you don't want to do those missions. You're just tired of it. You're just like, oh man, I don't feel like doing the bastion missions right now. Alright? Let's say you don't want to do those. Okay, let's go to the quest thing here. These are all the different types of missions here. Priority tasks, blah blah blah, directives, blah blah blah, stuff like that. And bastions, there they go. Okay. All right, you can skip quests if you want to. Straight up skip them, and it'll still give you the mic. You won't have to worry about getting the. You won't get any money for it. You won't get any of that stuff like that, but you'll still get the mic for it, which is the main part. All right. In order to skip them, though, you need to have these darn things. What they're called? Yeah, stimulants. This is it right there on the thing. You need to have stimulants in order to skip missions. Sometimes if I go to my directives here, like right there, that one says you need 12 stimulants to skip it. Okay, some of them require more stimulants than others in order to skip it. All right, which makes it they pretty much they don't want you to skip these because these are part of these storylines. Pay to win. Oh boy. If you're doing PvP, no. Well, yeah. If you're doing PvP, I say yeah. Because you can get everything in the game without paying for it. You can. All right. But honestly, it's not like Warframe. It's not like Warframe. I'll put it that way. Okay. Like I said before, you start off with 3 classes. You start off with Paladin. You start off with the Lightbinder. You start with Lightbinder, Paladin, and the Cryomancer. All right. Cryomancer does do decent damage. Paladin is an okay tank, but it's mostly like damage over tanking. You can still have a lot more survivability in a lot of these other classes, but you still do some decent damage out with Paladin. Lightbinder basically is supposed to help you stay alive. It doesn't heal. There are no healers in this game, which is another thing I think to you about. There are no healers. All right. The only characters that have healing abilities, the Alchemist has a healing ability, but it takes like 7 minutes for it to go on cooldown. The Necromancer has a healing ability, but you pretty much gotta do some crap to set it up before you can actually use it. And it requires you to spend life, and you gotta spend life to increase your mana. The more mana you have when you use your ability, the longer the ability lasts, and as long as you use certain attacks while you're using that ability, you'll get life back. All right. And then there's the Revenant, where you have like 2 abilities that give you life back, one of which makes you invisible and not invisible, but invincible, and heals you, and the other one you have to hold down the button while you're using it, and it like sucks life from the enemy. Telephone. 1 second. I'm not picking that up. I'm not picking that up. Oh my goodness. Nephew first day back to school, I'm getting a call from the school probably talking about that he was late to class. You know what? That's fine though. That's fine though. Anyway, because oh man, there was so much traffic. So much traffic this morning. There was too much stuff. Anyway, that's a whole nother issue. Moving forward. But yeah, most of the classes in this game, none of them really have healing abilities. The way you're supposed to heal yourself in combat, like oh my goodness. Okay, so let me go over here real quick. Let me go over here and show you. Alright, resource center. Yeah, and yeah, Warframe is better. Like I play Warframe too. The only thing, the main thing I don't like about Warframe is that it's supposed to be space ninjas, and you don't play them like ninjas. Like most people don't play them like ninjas, at least, It's very rare that you find somebody that actually wants to do a mission in stealth. Because like most people, when they play MMOs, they're like, oh man, I gotta do everything as quickly as possible, do it right, Like my whole thought process is this. All right, you're playing a video game to waste time. Okay, you're playing it to have fun. So stop playing the game like you got something that you need to do later on in the day. If you have plans later on in the day, all right, set up your plans for later on in the day, and you know, get yourself set up. All right, but don't get on the game and rush through dungeons and stuff and everything, and play the game to the point where it's like, oh man, I gotta get out of here. I really got a 5 o'clock meeting I gotta get to, blah blah blah, and everything like that. You know. Excuse me. For Warframe, the end game for Warframe, like honestly, I don't even feel like Warframe really has an end game right now, because they haven't even really finished the storyline yet. Like, I don't know. Oh, well, game in this is garbage. Like, I mean, I haven't even really, honestly, I haven't really gotten to indie game. I think, the real indie game stuff for this are the distortions. Alright? And the distortions, yeah, Warframe, it takes a lot. It takes a lot to get, anywhere in Warframe. That's, yeah and no, it does. I don't know, man. You can level up your Warframe to 30, and then you still gotta, use the stuff to, to upgrade them and everything like that. To what is it? The cards or whatever. I forgot what it's freaking called. I haven't played it in a little bit. I got it on my system, but I just haven't played it. What was I about to do? Oh yeah, I was going to point out pretty much how dungeons are supposed to go, okay? Because I said there were no healers in this, right? Alright, so let's say I want a tank, okay? And you could tell that they want team play by the abilities, the way the abilities work. Alright, if you're somebody who doesn't want to spend money on this game, the 3 classes that they give you at the beginning of this game when you first start, you can tell by their abilities they are supposed to work together. You can tell. Alright. Now, like I said before, there are no healers in this. Okay? No healers. No true in the sense of the word healers in this game. Alright. The way the paladin is supposed to work, you have this shield that you can put on yourself. Alright? Lasts about 15 seconds, okay? Now that shield can be broken or it can just turn off by itself. Alright. Now once that shield is gone, you also have this ability, which makes you and one other person invincible, but only for 4 seconds. Alright. Now during the time that those abilities are supposed to be on cooldown, the Lightbinder. That's this class. The Lightbinder is supposed to give shields to the tank. Okay. If the tank is running low on health or they're getting beat up and whatnot, you put the shield on the tank, and that'll cover for the time that the tank doesn't have their ability for their shield. Okay. Now, the thing of it is, when you're playing the Lightbinder, you're not supposed to really do any direct attacks. All right. You have this ability here, which is like an AOE explosion. All right. That ability, as you can see, it does damage. But what it's supposed to do when you're doing a team, you use that ability to remove debuffs from the tank and whoever else is nearby the tank. Alright? And also to do damage to any enemies that are nearby. Your main attack, though, let me come over here to this darn thing. Your main attack, this thing, alright, it does do damage, but you can also use it to buff your different teammates. The problem is that the buff stacks up to 3, no, well, that's not the problem. It stacks up to 3 times, but the real problem is that it only works for 1 attack. You can put the buff on them, stack it up to 3, and then next time they do any attack, that buff is used up. So what you're supposed to do as the Lightbinder is to sit there using this ability on the tank. Use that ability on the tank. Keep the tank doing as much damage as possible so that the tank can hold aggro. When the tank is getting damaged and messed up, give the tank a shield. Alright, if you want to give more damage to the rest of your team, you use the triangle ability. And that gives all of their weapons a glow and everything. It gives part of your might to them to make them more powerful. Alright? That's how it's supposed to work when you're working as a team, when you're playing as the Light Miner. Okay? And that's how the support is supposed to work. Now, I don't think they dropped any health items yet. Basically what you're supposed to do. Now, as you can see, this thing has like multiple health bars. Whenever you drop a health bar, there's a chance that it'll drop a health item as well. Okay, so it works. I don't know if it works inside the same. So usually when you kill these enemies that have like, well, if you kill any enemy, there's a chance that they'll drop a health item or health orb. I guess they don't do it in the training area, whatever. But the health orbs that drop are only supposed to be picked up by the tank. Alright? Unless in dire situations like your character is about to die and you really need it, and you go over there and grab it and you try to keep the tank alive. Okay? That's pretty much how the teamwork is supposed to work in this damn game. Okay? You never see it though. You never see it. But that's pretty much how team play is supposed to work, at least with the Light Miner. Alright? Other support class is the Alchemist. I'm in tank. You do not have the required effect. Oh, because I'm in. How did I get in combat with them darn things? They wait a freak over there. Alright, well, the way the Alchemist works is Alchemist only increases, well, not only, but mainly increases how much damage your team does. Alright? So the Alchemist isn't really supposed to keep your team alive. The Alchemist is there to make your team do so much damage that you kill the bosses or the enemies before you die. So, and now that guy is aggro. Whatever. And while I'm in here, I can't turn into my god form and just go through my different abilities, go through my different classes, which is what I would do if this thing was actually stupid. Yeah, the Alchemist is basically like you do so much, you make your team do so much damage output that you don't need to really, worry about dying. That's how the Alchemist is supposed to work. You do have abilities that give your teammate like defensive abilities, like you can put a shield on one person, or you can use an ability. Matter of fact, I can do it right now. You can put a shield on a single person, like that, or you can call down this little robot here, and everybody can choose to get a shield from it, okay? And it puts that ability on cooldown for 1 minute. Alright. Now, considering like how you've been talking to me about how you want to do team play and stuff, I'm sure you understand the whole concept that, it looks like, 1 minute doesn't seem like a long time when you're outside of combat. But once you're in combat, those cooldowns are very noticeable. I'm sure you know that the cooldowns on abilities are very noticeable when you're in the middle of a freaking fight. Alright. So yeah, that the Alchemist isn't really the shielding or defensive like type of shield class. It's more supposed to be you use triangle that buffs people, L2 triangle that buffs people and makes them do more damage. They have some pretty decent enough cooldowns for how long they last and everything like that. Then you have the R1 ability, which heals everybody. Okay, lasts for a few seconds, heals all your teammates. I think it also gives them like a bit of a defensive buff. But it has an 8-minute cooldown. I thought it was 7 minutes. It's 8 minutes. All right, that's your ultimate ability. 8-minute cooldown. Before the Revenant showed up, that was the only healing ability in the game. The only one. Alright. Now imagine people getting pissed off at you for not using your healing ability because they're about to die. Alright. And you trying to tell them, yeah, if I use it now, that means later on, I won't be able to use it. Probably won't be able to use it for the next 2 bosses. Because you gotta wait almost 10 minutes for it. Alright. Oh yeah, and remember how I showed you before that the outlaw had like was it a less than a minute cooldown for their ultimate ability? Check it out. If you use your ultimate in one class, the cooldown applies to everybody's ultimate. Everybody's. So basically, when you're in a dungeon, it's pretty much stay with the class you got. um, at least that's how I feel about it. But like, you use like seriously 8-minute cooldown on this ability now. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff in this game that like really freaking annoys me. That's like I said before, man. If I hadn't paid money for it, if I didn't have freaking 90 days of premium for this game, then I wouldn't be playing it. I really wouldn't. Like I wouldn't. Like honestly, I'm not even gonna say that. That's a lie. I'm not even gonna say that. I'll probably come back every so often for the special like holiday events and stuff. One of the things I really do like about this game is the emotes and the outfits you can get. You don't have to spend like any money for those if you don't want to. At least some of them anyway. Like they do have some cool event gestures like this thing here, the guitar. This thing is actually pretty awesome. Like as far as I know, they have like 5 different instruments. This one, now that I think about it, I did have to pay for this one. Yeah, I had to pay money to get this one. That sucks. I didn't even think about it until right now. Because then I wouldn't be able to get all 5. Wow. Like they have other ones. They have a guitar where you sit down, like an acoustic guitar where you sit down on like this little bench thing, and you start playing that one. And then they have this lightwave machine that you're supposed to just get for Halloween. I wasn't here for Halloween because I lost my job around that time, and I just like stopped playing games in general because I was trying to look for work, which I'm still doing now. But yeah, you can get like certain events will give you the chance to get the different instruments and stuff like that. But that guitar that I just pulled out, I actually had to pay for that. I don't think I paid a lot. It must not have been a lot. It was probably part of like a bundle or something like that. I don't even remember. Excuse me. But yeah. In general, though, this game is it's not worth playing. It really isn't. It really is not. Because there's just too much stuff that's just wrong with it. And if all of that stuff, like, you know, if eventually all of it comes together when they finally get to the main update or whatever, or the PC version of the game or whatever, you know, and it all like coalesces, I guess is the word, and actually makes a good game, then hey, it's good for them, you know. But the way everything is stacking up, the way everything is looking, and the way the community has been receiving everything, it's not looking pretty, man. It really isn't. Community for this game is absolutely atrocious. Community for this game is really, really bad. Like I'm like, because of the way everything's been everything's been delivered, the way everything's been packaged, and all that stuff like that. You know, like I played with one guy, and like he was playing his outlaw, doing his old spin to win thing, you know, going through the mission and everything, doing all this and all that. And he was just like killing stuff so fast and not slowing down. One of the things that happens when you get your God form, it increases your movement speed. Okay. So basically, like while you're in God form, you move as fast as if you're riding on a mount. All right, but you can attack at the same time. Okay. So, and like I said when you first showed up here, I don't know if you were here when I said it. When you get into combat, it automatically knocks you off your mount.
Teacher,
unless you have a combat mount.
Innocent people are dying.
So in that way, the game is definitely pay to win, because I had to pay money to get this mount right here. There are other combat mounts, which would be this horse thing right here, which I think you had to pay money or do like a special event to get. And this one right here. This is a combat mount as well. Alright, the rest of these, if you get into combat while you're riding them, the game will automatically kick you off of them. Except for these two. Except for these two. These are jetpacks that you can wear. They don't really increase your speed as much as a normal mount does, but they do make you move a little bit faster. And you can use them at any time during combat. But the other combat mounts, this one, the warbird that I have, and this Trewang, this thing, these are all combat mounts. The rest of them, if you're getting a combat, it'll kick you off your mount and you'll have to hoof it, no matter what the situation is. And of course, if somebody's playing in their god form, you know, they're going to be running through the mission, killing stuff as quickly as they can, you know, not caring about whether or not their team is right behind them, you know. And of course, if somebody gets too far ahead, the rest of the team will stop getting drops. They'll stop getting items. And that's what the guy was doing. He was like just running through the dungeon. He was like, yeah, man, I'm not trying to play with these efforts, blah, blah. I'm not trying to go slow for these efforts because, you know, these guys suck, you know, they're lame and blah, blah, blah. You know, they're not powerful than me and everything like that. And I was like, dude, just because they're lower level than you, they suck. And he's like, yeah, man, you know. And like, after that, I just stopped playing the game for like 2 months. Like, seriously. Like, I think I put it on, I think I actually have that video on my YouTube channel. Like, dude was a total jerk. He was a total jerk. And there are a lot of people that feel the same way as him, or at least they act like they feel the same way as him. Where they'll just go into a dungeon, go into God form, just blast everything, going as quickly as they can, act like telling themselves they're helping the people, you know, even though they're blasting through the dungeon so quickly that nobody's getting any drops. Alright. It just makes me wonder, like, you know, if you're going to do it that way, you just play the darn dungeon by yourself. You're obviously powerful enough to do it. You know. That's why I only solo stuff. That's why I only solo stuff when I go in dungeons. Because, I mean, not only do I not like to, I don't like the whole carry everybody to the end of the game aspect that they have going in this game and a lot of other MMOs. I don't want people to hassle me about not doing it. Because people expect it so much in this game that if you don't do that stuff, people will get mad at you. So they like, there's people who expect you to do it, and then there's people that if you do like people like me, that if there are people out there that just rush you to stuff like that, they won't get anything. It's just dumb. It's just dumb. I don't like it. I don't like. There's so many things. Like I think I just said that. Or whatever. I think you get what I was trying to say. It really killed me, you know. And like, it has the potential to be a very good game. Like I said, if the one time, like when they actually do missions, the 5-man avatar where you don't have your god form and your teammates have to know their class, the gameplay is amazing. It's so freaking fun. It's great working with other people. It is so fun working with other people and actually doing stuff and knowing how to play your class and going through the dungeons using your abilities and stuff. It is so fun. It really is. It's just so great. But the way everything is set up right now, it's me, get stuff for me, get stuff so I can be powerful, you know, if somebody's there, whatever, you know, get your god form and kill everything yourself. You know, I mean, like, seriously, if you just look around, like, if you look around, you'll see certain classes that everybody plays. You'll see like revenants everywhere. You'll see outlaws everywhere. All right, outlaw right here, revenant over here. All right, you'll see them all the time. The only time you really see like paladins is they're low level. You know, this person's low level. The only time you really see like certain classes like the cryomancer, paladin, stuff like that, usually if they're like just starting the game. If they're higher level though, there you go, another revenant right there. This person is level 49, they're playing the cryomancer. Alright? This person is level 90, they're playing berserker. You know, you can, there's just certain classes that you'll automatically see pretty much based on level. Cryomancer is still good though. Fire Mace is still good for damage output, but you really won't see it more often once you get to higher levels. If people have if they have the sparks for it, or if they have the money, they're going to get a Revenant, or they're going to get an Outlaw. Those are the spin to win, crush everything classes. Revenant can heal itself and do like really like big chunks of damage in a single attack. And Outlaw is spin to win, blast everything while you're moving around. You know, and you'll see those classes all the time. All the time. People play them all the time. You know. Like, I do like the holiday events they have. Like, let me go to A&R Park so you can see real quick. Like the Christmas holiday event, which was broken. The Christmas event was broken the day it came out. It was like, oh my goodness. It was so freaking funny. When you get to we're going to A&R Park right now. When you first got in A&R Park, when they did the Christmas event, there's these creatures called kelps. And basically they're supposed to have like Christmas like hats on and everything, like a Christmas vest too, I think, something like that. Oh, I didn't do it for today. Matter of fact, here, let me do this. And as you can see, it didn't load up yet. But anyway, these little piles of snow right here, you click on them, and there you go. The little kelp guy pops out. Alright, what you're supposed to do is throw snowballs at them. That defeats 12 of them with snowballs. And it'll give you some of these snow crystal things that you use to get event items. Okay? Now you just saw how he just died right there and it turned to crystal and disappeared. When the event first started, as soon as you came into A&R Park, the game would like spawn these little kelp guys. Like a certain distance, like a certain view distance from the character. They would spawn and then they would instantly die. So there was just like, as you were running around, these guys would spawn and then just die. And it was just like a big, just like hordes of them all over the place. It was crazy. It was just a bunch of dead bodies all over the place. And like they wouldn't despawn right away. They'd just be like, it was like everywhere you ran there was like a whole bunch of hordes of kelp. Just like dead bodies all over the place. You know? And it was like slowing down the game and everything. It was crazy. Yeah, the events in the game are fun. They do have some cool stuff, like I think like if you do good in operations, if you're like top tier operations or whatever like that, then they'll put your character over here, or make a golden statue of your character. It automatically gets put over here. Alright. Shows your name. Oh wait, no, this isn't for operations. This is for this is for something else. But I think it's like a guild, or not a guild, a pantheon thing. But yeah, your character gets put up there with the type of class you were playing at the time and the outfit they had on. Blah blah blah. I think that would be cool to participate in, but my pantheon sucks. There's always certain pantheons. Matter of fact, let me see if I can guess. I know one of them is definitely going to be One Piece. What's the other ones? Honestly, I don't even really know. I don't know One Piece is one. There's definitely going to be one of them. I've never heard of that one. One Piece. Yep, there you go, right there. One Piece. And the Temple of Faith. Okay, yeah, One Piece is like the biggest freaking pantheon on the game right now. You know, these other two I don't really know them that well. Temple of Faith and Kingdom of Celestial Gods. Yeah. But yeah, I knew somebody from One Piece was gonna be up there. I knew it. Yeah, man, that's pretty much how the game rolls. That's pretty much all it is. Yeah. Oh yeah, holiday and stuff. This is cool right here. You can get like skates, ice skates. You know, little stuff like this. Like this little stuff like this is what makes it easier for me to like deal with this game. You know, just stuff like this is fun and cool. Back in summer, they gave you rollerblades. It was pretty much the same thing, but you know, it was still fun to do. And like that guitar I showed you before, how I was saying that you know, they have 5 different instruments. For every instrument you get and every instrument that starts playing with each other, it adds a different part to a song. So like each instrument will, once you get all 5 instruments, it'll be like a full-fledged song with all the instruments and parts to it. So I think it's really awesome. You know, it started off with the little guitar thing. It started off with, starts off with this. Alright. Now the song that you're playing on this little guitar is not the song that pops up when you actually get more instruments playing together. It's a completely different song. But if somebody else with an acoustic guitar comes up and plays with me, it'll switch over to the other song, and it'll play the acoustic guitar part of that song. Now, if somebody were to show up with that guitar, the electric guitar I have, it'll play the acoustic part and the electric part. And then, of course, it'll be light wave one, and so on and so forth. You know, and then the more parts you have together, the more parts that'll be added to that song. It's really cool. That's the coolest thing I think about that that I've seen in this game. They have some other nice stuff too, but you know, when you get to like the real meat of the game, it's the stuff that's like, you know, dungeons and all that stuff like that. It's really not worth the time. It's really not. So anyway, now that I've talked about that for what, an hour and a half, you know, just going all this overall stuff and answering all your questions and stuff. Yeah. You know, like anyone, like if you want a free game to play, and I say if you tried the other games and like you got a little tired of them, this is something to download and just play around with, you know, just like, you know, just for the fun of it, just for the heck of it. Don't spend any money on it. Don't spend a dime on this game. New players will automatically get, they'll give you like 3 days of free premium. I think you get like 3 days of free premium every month or something like that. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot. So yeah, this game is definitely pay to win. I totally forgot about this whole part of it, because yeah. So as you play the game, if you have premium, all right, the more premium time you spend, like the more of these argents you spend, you got premium ranks. Premium ranks that make it easier for you to get money and stuff like that. So premium rank 1, all right, you get 100% more credits when you complete adventures. You get 100% more knowledge of enemies for killing enemies. Use the knowledge of enemies to upgrade your different citadels and stuff like that. And those little, yep, yep. To upgrade your different citadels and stuff like that, and use those to upgrade your different like buildings and stuff will give you more might, which also increases your level. Okay, might increases your level. All right. Then prestige rank 2, 100% credits, 100% knowledge, 25% more credits when you do directives, knowledge and credits for directives. 2 ancient chests daily as a gift, and 6 stimulants weekly as a gift. Alright, stimulants you can use to skip missions, skip quests. If you don't want to do the quest, use the stimulants. Alright. I'm sorry, I do not speak that language. But yeah, like, in order to level up the the premium rank, you use these crystals here. You use argents, and you can either buy argents with real money, which is the most common way to get them, or you got to do operations to get argents. All right, and then after you get the argents, you got to spend the argents, I think, on like clothing items or use the Argents to get more credits or whatever like that. So spend the Argents to increase your premium rank. League of Legends? I don't play League of Legends. This is not like League of Legends. Alright. This is just a normal MMO. League of Legends is a MOBA, which I'm sure you already know. But yeah, I don't play it. I don't know anything about it. Never played it. I'm not a MOBA person. No, it's not similar. Not at all. The PvP is not similar either. It's just kill other people for Argents, which is another way to get Argents, as a matter of fact. It's just like, you know, normal PvP where you fight against people just for fun. You don't have to protect any nodes or anything like that. Well, not as far as I've seen. I don't really play PvP, but mostly it's like 3-man teams and stuff. Yeah, no problem. No. Why am I in combat? Oh yeah, because the kelps. Whenever the kelps show up, you go into combat scenes. Let me go ahead. I'm gonna finish my Christmas event here and get my little Christmas. As a matter of fact, I should have got some in that dungeon we did earlier. Should have got some little. Oh, I got 4. Cool. So I got that. That gave me some stimulants. Just slow on. Okay, there we go. The little ice crystal things. That's what I need. At least that's what I want, I should say. Oh, 75. Yeah. Alright, I probably don't have enough, but let's check. I'm sure I probably don't have enough. No, I'm not even halfway. Well, I'm halfway. So I need 400,000 of the icy gems to get myself, like, literally all I'm doing is buying different outfit pieces with the icy gems. Like, I could get, basically, I could try to get like 1 million and get myself a new mount, which I don't need. Because it's probably not even a combat mount. Like, really, man. Like, oh yeah, another pay-to-win thing about this darn game. Like, the game is sort of, like I said, it's sort of pay-to-win. It's kind of like, it's like Warframe as far as, like, you know, you can get these items without having to pay for them. You really can. But like, most of these, like the ones that are locked right now, as far as the mounts go, this one right here, I don't even know what that is. This one here, this one. These are unlocked during events. Okay. These plant ones you can't get anymore. Wow, I just thought about that too. Some of these are purchase only mounts. Like this one I have right here was a purchase one. When I first started, I purchased this one. It was one of those, you know, starter pack deals. You get it in whatever, like founder pack or something like that. Now that I think about it, am I found it? I don't know. I don't think I am. Whatever. But like, they have the White Wing Griffin here too. Alright, now I think you actually had to get this one from an event, but this one you paid for, okay? And basically, you pay for it, you get it early, blah blah blah. This one just came out recently around Christmas time, but I've had this one since like game was freaking put on the PS4. This is not a combat mount though. This one I got recently. Well, not recently. I say I got around summertime. It's the same. They're pretty much the same thing as this one, but this one is a combat mount. When you jump off of it, it'll fly forward and hit enemies, and it also will not automatically knock you off your mount when you get into combat, which I said before. But what I was trying to point at before is this one right here. This experimental transport. Now, during summertime, they actually had a racing event, okay? And basically, in order to do the racing event, you'd have to meet up at a certain place, wait until the timer started, and then you could just race, okay? And you had to use your mount in order to do the race. Otherwise, you just would have lost, okay? Now, the reason why I said this is like pay to win is because of this, okay? The way this mount works, as long as you're driving kind of straight for a certain amount of time, you get a little boost in there. That increases your speed by like 100 and some percent or something like that. You know? Now, in order to get this vehicle, you either spend money on it, or you will have to be in a Pantheon, or if you be in a Pantheon, you can get one from doing a Pantheon, or what was the other one you can get? There's another one you can get too. You know, but like pretty much it's like it's difficult to get these third ones. It is. You don't really see many people driving these. And since they're not combat mounts, people don't really use them other than for that racing event that they had during the summer. It's like it would be cool if you could use this without having to worry about getting knocked off your mount, because you can just boost and get past like any enemy that might pop up in front of you. But you don't really see many people using it. So yeah, man, there's a lot of stuff in this game, you know, that you can tell that the people who made the game are like, yeah, if we do it this way, we can get money. If we do it this way, we can get money. If we do it that way, we can get money. Blah blah blah. You know, teamwork isn't really important. All that stuff like that. I have to talk about all this. I don't even want to play it anymore. I really don't. You know, like my plan was to try to like level up some more, level up my prestige level some more, and make my character like prestige level 100 and stuff. I don't even feel like doing that anymore. Cause like, honestly, it's like for me to really play this, I feel like I have to just get in, do what I'm trying to do, and not think about everything I don't like about the game. Because all it does is make everything I don't like about the game stack up in the back of my mind, and it makes me hate myself for actually playing it. It really does. You know, if they really put forth the effort to make it so that you could do team play in this, I wouldn't mind playing the game. I wouldn't mind spending a little bit more money on it either. You know, but it's obvious, so obvious. Excuse me, I mean. It's obvious that the team playing is not as important to the people, like the developers, and like specifically the community. And in a lot of ways, the community asked for it like this, man. Like they literally, there was one of the updates that made one, like the very first dungeon, Hespelon Temple was like freaking tough. It was doable, but it was tough as hell. You know. And people, like, as soon as that happened, people complain. They stopped playing the dungeons in general. You know, like, if it was too difficult for them to get on their god form and, like, blast through it, then they were like, nah, man, we're not playing this, and so on and so forth. The dungeon was doable. It was doable without god form, alright? It was tough, but it was doable even without god form. Yet people complain so much about it that the devs are like, you know what, screw it, let's just put it back the way it was. You know, they dumbed it down like 2 or 3 or 4 times, and people still complain, and they were like, you know what, let's just put it back to the way it was. That's what we did. So now the game is, you know, the dungeon is where it was before. Anyway, I'm seriously done. You know, all of the glitz and glam and all the weapons and flashy stuff, you know, like, it's like a diamond covered turd, basically. You know, it sparkles and shines, but you know, at the end of the day, you know, it's still poop. It's still crap, you know. But yeah, like I said before, man, I spent money on it, so freaking I'll play it. I'll get what I can out of it while I still have time left on it. You know. Let me see. Like, I wish I could just stream some art, man. Stream some drawing and stuff like that. I have to make it like M-rated though, 18 plus. I don't draw stuff for kids. Oh, I really want to. That would be cool. Draw some Mickey Mouse stuff like that. That would be awesome. Fantasy Fire. Started for So all really the Forces of Evil is not really like a kid's show, man. Can't kill him. Let me see here. Wait a minute, I don't know how I even care to keep going. I know what I can do before I go. How to do this? Nope. Let's get that. That puts me at that right there. Do those. Okay. Well, that's it for me. I already got my Christmas stuff. Well, no, I didn't finish doing the kelp thing, but I don't care. Then again, I think I get like 100. I'm not worried about it. I'll just do it later. Like I said before, the only thing I'm using that for is to get like outfit pieces and stuff. You know, and that's not even really important. The outfit pieces are just for like visual, visual aesthetic. So you guys take care. Switch this off. Probably go to the restroom for a moment. Try to think about whether or not I'll play something else or just start doing some artwork to get some money. Get this boat break. I need this cash. Gotta pay for all these bills and debt. Yeah, no problem, no problem. Hey, I mean, I'll probably be back on, I'm just not sure what else I want to play right now. Like, I don't know. I was thinking about playing Odin Sphere earlier, but I don't know if I really want to get back into that right now. I'll figure it out later. Anyway, you take care, David. And, who was the other person that was in here? Oh man, your name is gone. Anyway.